brothers and sisters. Let's do some business. Welcome to the show. Let's look at Viking Coffee. Viking Coffee, run by the amazing Evan Armstrong out of Bowling Green, Ohio. Evan is making some of the best coffee around. He makes our Old Man Strength brew. You guys have heard me talk about Old Man Strength brew about 1,000,000 times on the show. It was a brew we put together, my wife and I, and Aaron Varga here at the gym, and we just absolutely love it. Drink it all the time, but Evan's got a billion different flavors. He also has brand new hats and mugs on the site, ready for purchase. VikingCoffeeCo.com. Use the code VikingCoffee10 at checkout for 10% off. Cerberus Strength. Cerberus is, if you go to like a strongman competition, you're going to see athletes all over the place repping Cerberus out. They've got sponsored athletes all over the globe, and their gear is a must-have for strongman athletes. So whether you need wrist wraps or belts or knee sleeves or smelling salts or tacky, they have everything you could possibly need for strongmans, for Highland Games, for powerlifting. Check them out, cerberus-strength.us. Use the code RefinedSavage10 at checkout for 10% off. Roadie Sport. Roadie Sport, run by Justin Roadie, former professional shot putter, 2012 Olympian. Justin is really changing the game as far as the shot put goes. He has some amazing products and lectures on his site. He is selling the shot put glove. So for you guys out there who are throwing heavy stones, heavy shot puts, or lots of volume, if you've ever had your fingers bent back, or even if you just gotten some tendonitis in those fingers from overdoing it, the shot put glove is the answer. I've had them on. Pretty solid piece of equipment, man. It will keep your fingers in check and keep you from hurting yourself. Some of you guys throwing in cold weather, the tendonitis and the injuries of your hand, they'll come a little bit more often, and that shot put glove will really help protect it. Check that out. He also has closed loop lifting straps. You might want to check those out as well. Highly recommend it. Beautiful leather lifting straps. Really cool. He's also having a Jolly Big Throws Clinic on December 21st at Youngstown State University. Some of the best college coaches in the country will be there, handing out all their information, holding nothing back, making sure you guys are on point with your throws. You can check all that out at roadiesport.com and use the code RefinedSavage at checkout for a discount. Warrior CBD. Warrior CBD is my favorite brand of CBD oil out there. If you are using CBD oil, some of you are having good results, some of you are having bad results. It all depends on where you get the product from, just like anything else, guys. Don't go the cheap route. Don't buy it at your local gas station. Check out Warrior CBD. Created by jiu-jitsu and MMA fighters. These guys get beat up all the time, so they understand the value of a good CBD oil. Check them out at warriorcbdofficial.com and use the code WARRIOR20 off at checkout. Serious Steel. Serious Steel is, man, they're just great people, for one. You know, you want to give your money, your hard-earned dollars, your pesos to good, solid people. And that's what you get at Serious Steel. They have everything you could possibly need for strength and conditioning, from bars and plates all the way up to wraps, straps, elbow sleeves, anything you could possibly want. Check these guys out. If you are needing to buy some equipment for your facility, give them a holler. SeriousSteel.com. Use the code SAVAGE at checkout for 10% off. Iron and Stone Strength. Iron and Stone, Eric is running this Iron and Stone Strength up outside of Buffalo, New York. Great dude, man. Great family. They know what strength is all about. They live it. They breathe it. It's their life up there. And they have some of the coolest apparel in the game. I bought a t-shirt a couple weeks ago. Could not be happier with it. You can see it on my Instagram page. Cool logo. Very comfortable. It's one of my new favorites. So check them out. On top of t-shirts, they have hats and sweatpants and sweatshirts. And they just got some brand new designs they just put up on Instagram today. Check out their designs. I promise you're not going to be disappointed. So, ironandstonestrength.com. Use the code REFINEDSAVAGE at checkout for 20% off. Stay Classy Meats. More and more people are coming to me asking questions about Stay Classy Meats. And what I can tell you to do is try it. You're going to love it. It's not expensive. You look at how much meat you get for the money, and it's not that much more expensive than anywhere else you're going to buy meat. And this is high quality meats. I love them. Stay Classy Meats they get their meats from small batch farms in Bozeman, Montana area. These animals are living healthy. And you can tell by the way they're living, the taste is just amazing. It's much different than even regular grass-fed meat from like around here in Ohio. It's just different. I'm not a big fan of grass-fed meat. I'm just not until I tried Stay Classy Meats. And everything is so good. I'm so psyched that they are a sponsor of the show. Give them a holler. If you need help with, like if you're doing a build your own box, give me a holler. I'll help you with anything you need as far as what I personally like. To be honest, though, I haven't found anything yet there I haven't liked, so you really can't go wrong. StayClassyMeats.com. Use the code SAVAGE at checkout for 10% off. And finally, today we have a new sponsor, Speakeasy Leather. Speakeasy Leather is a fantastic company. They're making leather goods like wallets, knife holders, change envelopes, I think they're called. Minimalist design leather goods, handcrafted for a lifetime of style, use, and quality. What I urge you to do is go check them out at speakeasyleather.com, or check them out on Instagram at Speakeasy Leather. You can send him a message there, and he will respond. If you're interested in something special or something custom, let him know. Check out some of the products. Really cool stuff. I am a big fan. They sent me this wallet. Fantastic wallet. Beautiful looking. Inside, it had the Refined Savage logo on the inside. I just love it. I think you will too. So give them a call. Let them know that I sent you, and they will hook you up. All right, guys. Today on the show, we have Masters Professional Strongman athlete Vaughn Siko. Came out here all the way from Pittsburgh, sat down in the studio. We had a great time, a lot of great information. I think you guys are going to dig this one. So sit back, relax, share this with your friends, and we'll see you at the end. Vaughn, we're on the show. We've been talking about, we just gave you a tour of the gym and,
very nice.
And showed you around and get you to come up here and do some stones one of these days.
I would love to do that.
Yeah,
you got big stones here. The heaviest stone I ever picked was 390. Well, loaded, I should say.
Right.
I picked a 430 or 435 this past February. And it was dusty. I could use that excuse.
So those big ones get dusty. No one's using them.
It was big.
Yeah.
Just to pick it and lap it, I was pretty proud of that. But I was probably 6 to 8 inches away from loading it.
There's no way you can't go even heavier than that. You just need more time with it.
Because you get my body used to it, for one. Like I said, it was dusty. I think even if it wasn't dusty, I don't think I would have got it.
Yeah.
I like to think I would, but I don't think it was.
You just need more time on them.
Yeah.
A little practice. And
you go from, you're used to 385 or 390.
Yeah.
335 like we have at our gym. Making that jump. And the jump at that gym was 365, I think, or 370, right to 430, 435, whatever it was. There was no tweener. All I want to do is something over 4.
Yeah.
I got to do it.
Doesn't Sean have? Sean's got ones over 4, doesn't he?
He has a 405.
Mm-hmm.
When I went, it was February.
Because he loads outside.
It was outside.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's never going to thaw.
Yeah.
We bring it back in.
Shit. Yeah, because
it came from Dylan's gym.
Yeah, he does everything at his gym too. So he's got CrossFit in there and power lifters and just not a. I know they do all their stones outside on those platforms, which during the summer is probably awesome.
I like that platform.
I would too.
We moved it inside because it's on wheels.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I don't know who made it. I don't know where he got it from.
Yeah.
But it's pretty convenient. You can just move it wherever you want.
Oh, see, I thought that was like attached to the building or something.
The one with the turf?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's on wheels.
Sean's got a good place out there, man. BSS is, I love those people. They come out to all our events, and it's a good,
He has a wide variety of athletes.
He does. And it's a good, I always say that I don't think it's the programming that makes a quality strength athlete. It's more the environment. And he proves that because he's taking that shot at 900-pound deadlift, but then you got Mark Jones coming up right behind him who's pulling 800 pounds. Where the hell do you see that happen in a gym like that? It's not like it's Westside Barbell.
We were talking about that when they came in, not this past weekend, the weekend before, to train the medley for strongman games.
Yeah.
And because I asked him about his hamstring.
Yeah.
Because I came to his place the day he ripped it.
Yeah. Me, Shane Rickman, and Sean all ripped our hamstrings this year, so it was crazy.
I did mine at 16. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So, because there's actually 3.
Yeah.
The 2 are together.
Mm-hmm.
I tore those 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And doing light farmers.
Wow.
So obviously, I must have tweaked it doing
Mm-hmm.
something during training. That was one of the nastiest injuries I had because not only did the back bruise, the front bruised.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I was upset because that competition was Pennsylvania log press record for masters. Yeah. And in the gym, I was hitting 320. And my buddy George hit 300, and he's got the record in PA. So I missed out on it. And I actually considered, even after, because it was the next event.
Right.
I'm like, if I take a pain pill,
Yeah, that first initial deadlift sucks, though.
I don't think, there's no way I would have been able to pick up that log.
Yeah. Yeah, I did mine. To be honest with you, I think mine had a lot to do with the fact that I was on a statin drug for cholesterol. And that's one of the side effects is torn hamstrings. Why, I have no idea. But I was in a jiu-jitsu class, and I was sitting on the ground, and the instructor just said, hey, move over there, guys, so they don't roll on top of you. So I kind of rolled to my side, and you heard it go.
Oh, really? Just like that?
Just like that. And that was the first time.
It had to have been something like that. Yeah.
And then I tore 3 more times in like the next 3 months, and finally
you didn't give it a rest.
Didn't give it a rest at all.
Did you do therapy at all?
I had this great girl, and God love her. She was working her ass off to keep me. Her name's Adrienne Smith. She's coming on the podcast in a couple weeks, and she was basically just keeping me in the game. And she's a Poliquin coach and a bodybuilder, and she knew I wasn't going to stop training. So she was just like trying to put fingers in the dam, to keep it from water spilling out. And, the last time I tore it actually was a good thing because I tore it in a different spot, but it got super black and blue and painful, so I had to rest. So it let the other one heal up too. So it was actually a good thing. Or else I would have just kept ripping it.
You stubborn men,
right? We're all like that. I know.
Yeah, when you mention that hamstring, the best thing I did was go to therapy.
Yeah,
I didn't believe in don't get me wrong. I believed in therapy, but nothing like that. My doctor tells me, he shows me the MRI. He's like, this is pretty bad, severe. He goes, but it didn't break away from the bone, which is good.
That's always good.
Yeah. But he was trying, and then do a follow-up, because he gave me therapy, gave me a prescription for therapy, so I started going to therapy. And he does a follow-up, because it wasn't getting much better within the first 2 months.
Right.
And he's like, well, Jerome Bettis had the same exact injury, and it took him over a year to get better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not carrying a ball.
Yeah.
40 times a game, whatever it was.
Or in cutting.
Exactly. With guys jumping all over my back. That's not what I'm doing. He goes, but what you do is very intense for a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. You do it. Makes sense. Kept going to therapy, and Nats was coming up, which was June that year.
Yep.
That was 17.
That was
December
New York,
16
New York City?
No, that was Detroit.
Oh, right.
Right north of Detroit. And I had one shot at a competition prior to Nats to qualify. And the only reason why I was hungry for it because USS was giving a pro card to the Masters. Because Willie was at the competition where I got hurt at.
Right.
Because it was Pennsylvania State records. Anyways, I reached out to my he's my friend now, but my coach, and I said, Ken, I need help. I got this injury. He's like, what'd you do? And I told him. So he put me on a program which actually helped me coincide with therapy. Literally within 4 weeks, I had dramatic results. And I'm like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. Ended up doing a competition up here in Toledo.
Right.
I can't remember the name of it.
Was it Shane's competition?
No, but he was there.
Okay.
That's when I first met Sean.
Yeah.
Because he introduced himself. I'm like, oh, you're like the deadlift guru.
Right, yeah.
He has a reputation, obviously.
Quiet deadlift machine.
Yeah, I'm thinking I can deadlift, and then there's Sean who can deadlift.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I thought I was a good deadlifter, too, till I met Sean.
Exactly. He kind of humbles you, you know what I mean? But I ended up winning the comp, but it was funny, at the comp, there was this kid who had cancer. And of all the competitors there, he picked me out and asked Shane if I would deadlift 700 pounds. The comp.
Yeah. What are you
Shane
going to do?
Asked me, and I was still nervous about my hamstring.
Yeah.
So I went over to my wife, Paula, and I said, you know what? I don't care if I blow out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this kid. You know what I mean?
Yep.
See, he would love to be doing something like that.
Absolutely.
So if something happens after the fact, I said,
fuck it, this is strong, man. We just got to do it.
And the 700 went up like it was nothing.
Yeah.
It felt great. And I was happy for the kid. It meant nothing to me except for I did it for the kid.
Right.
Literally after that, I care less about the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Well, you've just created an incredible story.
Well, it was cool. And something really like that never happened to me before. I don't mind helping people out and doing things.
Yeah.
But nobody's come to me and say, hey, can you do this?
Yeah.
Especially in a strongman, I felt, obviously you feel proud about something like that. And the kid was happy, and then it kind of choked you up a little bit because I gave him my medal.
Yeah.
And they gave me this big giant hug, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here before somebody sees me, I'm
the worst. I'm the worst at that shit. I cry all the time.
It's like, oh my gosh, but I was still tentative going into Nats with that hamstring, even though after all, especially there was a 300-pound farmers for, I think it was 60 feet. But after I got past that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
You got to get it out of your head. It's so, even now, my goal was to get to a 500-pound deadlift by Christmas, which, was a very low goal, but I hadn't deadlifted since February and kept tearing my hamstring. I thought I wasn't sure what it was going to, and I also lost 50 pounds, so I said, okay, I could just deadlift 500 again. I won't feel like such a pussy. And I did it 3 weeks ago like it was nothing. So now it's like maybe 600 again by December, and so.
Isn't it weird, like with therapy, prior to Ken's training, like.
Who's Ken who?
Ken McClellan.
Oh, yeah, Ken, he's a stud. Yeah.
Oh, the dude is.
I'll tell you a funny story about him, but afterwards, go ahead.
But the workouts they had me do, nothing was weight related.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all body movements, bands, a lot of band work. I believe in that stuff. Because I literally came back, bam, and was pulling heavy again.
And most people won't do it. They just are too lazy, or they don't believe in it, and they just won't do it,
It's an effort. It's like anything.
Sure.
It's like strongman. I get guys that come in, and they want to do strongman. 2 weeks later, you never see them.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
I call weak man.
Yep. We get people in here all the time, and I always tell, and after so many years of doing this now, that I can tell within the first 15 minutes if this person's coming back or not. It's just, are they going to put forth the effort? Are they going to start giving me a litany of excuses? What's going to... Girls are the best. Guys are the ones who dump on me.
Girls are badass.
Yep.
I hate to say it like it.
Well, if you can give birth to a kid, lifting an apple stone ain't hard.
That's in their DNA. They can do that.
Yep. But yeah, the girls are the easiest. Once you can convince them that, I think it gives them a sense of empowerment to be able to lift heavy weights, where the guys just are always more frustrated that they can't lift heavier weights. Because they remember themselves when they were seniors in high school, and they were doing some shitty squat where they never broke parallel.
Leg press.
Yes, yeah. Always had 1,000
always
pounds
a leg
on
press, yes.
But the girls have no expectations, and they always continue to surprise themselves. So it's a lot easier to work with them.
I think the difference between a male athlete and a woman athlete is they're smarter.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do the work to get better. Even if this is going to take 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yep.
The guy's like, 2 years? That's way too long. They don't want to wait. They don't want to put that work in 2 years.
I had Dave Tate on the podcast, and he talks about the very few athletes he works with, and he likes it that way because he's Dave Tate. He doesn't have to work with 800,000 people. But so he's got this handful of athletes, but he sits down with them and tells them, he says, okay, this is a 4 to 5 year plan that we're going to put you on. And if they balk at that, he's like, see ya. This is like an Olympic cycle. We're going to get you ready in 4 to 5 years, but you got to give me 4 to 5 years.
It's going to be the right way, though.
Absolutely. And everything we put together, and you won't have to worry about it. He's got the right mindset. And I think he's gotten. I think I had a different opinion of him before I did the podcast, because he seems like he's real mean. Like in his Instagram posts, he seems like he's
I've seen
real.
Some of those.
But he could not be more friendly, and he could not be more helpful. And I didn't get any of that vibe off him. Like, he could not have been a nicer guy to me when I was down there.
The intimidation factor.
Yeah.
It's like you go to gyms.
Yep.
Our gym, unfortunately, I'm the big man on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And I say unfortunately because there's nobody to push me to certain limits. Yep. Now, I'll turn 51 next week. That drive is not nearly what it used to be at all. But it would be nice when you're prepping for a competition that somebody is consistently doing better than you.
Even if they're 28 years old. Who cares?
I don't care. I don't care if they're 18.
Yep.
But the intimidation factor.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't talk to me at the gym. I'm always smiling.
Right.
I'm having fun with my guys. Great guys. Just come over and talk to me.
Yeah.
My nephew, he's an Olympic lifter,
mm-hmm.
and he lifts at the gym. He's like the little mediator between me and the guys who have interest in doing strong.
Yeah.
He's like, just go talk to him. He doesn't care.
Right.
And then they'll be like, I say, hey, come on Saturday. We won't do anything that's outside of your realm of strength.
Sure.
I said, we all started just like you did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big deal. And nobody's going to make fun of you. Nobody cares about that stuff. We're adults now.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing, the intimidation factor. You think somebody is something. In strongman, it's nobody is intimidated by anybody because everybody likes you better.
Well,
there are a few bad apples.
There's a few, in every endeavor. But when you see people with their game face on, I can see where that would be intimidating. But as soon as the event is done, everyone just relaxes and the smiles come back out. It was funny talking about Ken McClellan. The first time I met him was the only I qualified for nationals 3 times, but the only one I did was in Louisville.
Okay.
And I never met any of the guys before, so none of them knew who I was or what I could do or anything. And I was supposed to do the 242 class, and I got down there and I was like 239, no 242 masters class. So I was with Ken, who's fucking huge. So I'm the first guy to go in the deadlift. We had to do wagon wheel 600-pound deadlift for reps in a minute.
13 inches?
I think something like that.
They did it 4 years ago. Even the car deadlift was 13 inches in New York.
So I go out, and I don't know, I think I got maybe like 10. And he wasn't watching. So he comes back in, and he goes, hey, how much you get? And I went, 21, man. I don't know. It was rough. And I just walked away. He was like, what the fuck? And I came up to him afterwards, I said, I only got 10. But he looked at me like, what the fuck?
I first met him at Strongman Corp National Masters in Vegas.
They still do that every year in Vegas? Is it always at the Olympia?
Mark Davison just won it this year.
Okay, all right.
It was 15. Funny story. I'm in the rules meet. I don't know anybody. Okay, my first one. I'm looking around. There's Vaccio and that group, and Bevins and all those guys, and everybody's like talking about who's going to win and who's going to do this and that. And the year before, Eric Patterson lost because he dropped the keg on the keg carry.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, he was that close
to
having it. Mike Cromer ended up winning it. So, they were talking, and I remember just, like, looking, and George is up there, too, and then Ken walks in, and he kind of sits down, kind of behind him at the cross. I'm like, they just keep getting bigger.
Right.
Who the hell is this guy?
He looks like some kind of pro wrestler.
Yeah. So, well, he was an MMA fighter for a long time.
Was he really? Jesus Christ.
I know. Did you ever see the paws on that dude?
Yeah, he's gigantic.
Yeah. So anyways, the next day we compete, and the first event was log press and clean. So he placed second in that behind Mike because Mike is a pressing machine. Mike's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
The next event was sandbag carry. I think he outdid everybody by 50 feet. He just like looked, and I think the judge said, "You don't have to go."
How far do I have to go? Yeah.
He dropped it, but he walks off, and he's not even breathing heavy.
Yeah.
I'm like, "There's no way this dude is 40." Okay, that's what I'm thinking. So I walk over to him, and I'm like, "Dude, how old are you, really?" He's like, "I just turned 40," with a good little giggle. I'm like, "I think you're like 29."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, don't pull this on me.
He's got good DNA for sure.
Yeah. So that's how I first met him and ran into him.
And was he does your programming now?
Yeah, he'll program me for the like strongman games or things like that. Like for Nats, I did this past year.
Yeah.
We just talked. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll talk back and forth, bounce things off each other, but
that's great to have, though. That's a huge help.
Well, yeah, I mean, the dude has. It was nice because I can say that I'm in his stable of athletes because I won Nats, the 50 over, of course. But he has 2 world champions, I think. He has a powerlifting champ or 2.
Yeah.
Up there. I mean, he has a group of guys that are just the top.
Right.
And he trains them all.
Yeah.
He's that good.
You're in, you're just north of Pittsburgh, you said, right?
Yeah, northeast Pittsburgh.
Do you know Kylie Craig, the powerlifter?
She's in Washington, right? She is
in Washington, yeah.
That's southeast or southwest of Pittsburgh.
Okay, because she's been on the show a bunch of times, but...
I don't know her. I mean, I don't even know if I even ran into her before. But I do know she's in Washington.
Okay.
She's a big female power.
Strong.
Yeah.
Strong as all get out, man. I had her and Heidi Hauer in here. Heidi Hauer is the, I'm not sure what weight class she is, but she's a Westside Barbell girl, formerly with the Sweatshop. But, I mean, she's ridiculous. World champion, world record holder, geared powerlifter. But they're in here doing, like, speed benches, and both of them have, like, 185 on the bar. And they're just throwing this weight up. These 2 little girls, neither one of them were over 160 pounds.
I was just going to ask, what's her weight class?
I think Kylie is, like, and I don't want to, I'll screw this up. I want to say Kylie.
We're not holding you to anything.
Yeah, she's probably between 160 and 170, and Heidi is probably between 140 and 150.
So Kylie's 160, 170, we'll say. So
yeah.
Do you know what her lifts are? Her best lifts?
Not off the top of my head.
Because I like to throw this in people's faces.
Right.
That I train with.
She's stronger than a lot of dudes that I know. I don't know if she has it on her Instagram. She's a 75 kilo powerlifter, so that's 160 pounds.
150 and 160.
3-time USPA Nationals. Oh, squat 468, bench 293. This is raw.
I was going to say, is it geared or not?
This is raw, and deadlift 424.
Wow.
And then Heidi,
a 468 squat.
Yeah.
At $170.
Right. She doesn't have her lifts. Oh wait, but she's got a 1505 total at 132 pound body weight. All-time world record in the squat, deadlift, and total. She Heidi broke her arm at the last powerlifting meet she was in because I just got a hold of her
benching.
Yeah, the other day because last time I had her on the podcast, it was her and her boyfriend, and she's like rubbing this lotion on her forearm because he'd just done this meet. And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, I think I got a pulled muscle or something. I did the meet this weekend, and it's really bugging me. Here she had broken her arm and didn't even know it. Talk about women and pain thresholds. So she just got cleared to start competing again and training hard, and that WPO's coming. And I talked to her about it. She said, I'm not going to do it because I won't be able to put in the work that I want, and she's a monster. She's an absolute animal. She's geared lifted. But I had them both in here lifting one day, and they're doing, like I said, like 185 benching for speed. They're doing like 55-pound dumbbell skull crushers, and it's crazy.
Kylie basically benched 300.
Yeah. Wow,
that's impressive.
Yeah, and both of them are mothers and both have jobs, and people say they can't do shit because they work and have kids. Fuck that.
I don't like that excuse.
I don't either.
Say I can't work or I can't do this job because I need to train to push myself ahead.
Right, either direction. Either I can't work or I can't train because I do work.
Yeah, and I hate hearing that because this is not new.
No.
None of this is new.
No.
People for generations have been doing it before you.
Yeah.
They were able to work and still outlift you.
I was a pro Highland Games athlete, and when I say pro Highland Games athlete, I didn't go to a competition unless I made my house payment or my car payment off that competition. Plus, they paid for your hotel, your airfare, your lodging, yada yada yada. So if I'm not walking out of there with $700, I'm not going. And I still was training athletes. I still had a full-time job for the county as a corrections officer. Oh,
you love that.
And I was coaching track and field too. So that job was fun when I was young. That was fun before there was cameras and stuff like that. I used to say before there was cameras, it was like WWE in those pods. You just
whatever you say, we can edit it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, they can't fire me now.
I have a buddy who lives out in Oregon. Big Bad Santa. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I've seen his videos and Instagram and
he's
stuff.
He's a correction officer. And you can tell he just hates it. Just from everything that you just see. But he says you basically can't do what you're able to do.
No. So it's basically being in jail for 30 years. If you retire, you're in jail for 30 years. You just get to go home at night.
Yeah.
And then, but back in the day, the cameras were there, but they were just hooked up to the sergeant's office so they could help you if you got in trouble.
Yeah.
Now they're all hooked up and they're scrutinized, and I had the best piece of advice when I started was if you put your hands on somebody, try to put them in the hospital, because if you try to go light, you're going to be the one that ends up getting hurt. And that was my motto. Every time I had to put my hands on somebody, I tried to put them in the hospital, and a couple people went away in hospitals in ambulances, and it was like no big deal, but
it's justified.
Come on, they're scumbags. They're dickheads. I didn't just walk into a pod and just start kicking the shit out of somebody. They did something
Exactly. First of all, they're in there.
Right.
Now, odds are they're guilty.
Yeah.
But if you ask them, none of them are guilty.
None of them are guilty.
But if they're acting up in there...
Yeah. And it was always, it was. I remember I've got this scar. It's on this finger down here. And
I see that.
I was walking with this decentralized unit, so basically the hole. So you have to have these big, giant brass keys to get in. So I walked in and opened the door and shut the door behind me with the big brass key. And as I'm walking by the cells making my head count for the day, I hear one inmate go, "Aw, fuck." And I didn't think anything of it. I should have. And I went to the next cell, and this little fucker threw a cup of piss through his feed slot, hit me in the legs. I just yelled, "Break 9!" They broke the cell just as I kicked the door, and it hit him right in the forehead and knocked him down like Jorge Masvidal, kneeing Ben Askren in the head. And then I just got down and I started wailing on him, and I'm just throwing punches, and the key is cutting through my finger.
Because you had the key in your hands.
And his face is all bloody. So there's just... The other COs come in. He had a roommate in the cell. The roommate was on his bunk with his hands behind his head. And the other...
He knows protocol.
Yeah, he knew the protocol. He knew how to get his ass kicked. And all the other COs came in to help me, and when they got there, it looked like a Jackson Pollock painting on the wall from the blood, just from both of us, because I'm smashing him, and then my fingers are bleeding,
I like how you bring art into this.
Oh, yes. It's very artistic. Yeah. And then I remember Larry Findish, who was this
Renaissance man.
He was like 6'5", 350-pound guy, just picks me up under one arm and throws me down the hallway to get me out of the seat, and then I go get stitches and everything. But yeah, nowadays I'd be in prison for that.
Imagine you'd be scrutinized for it too.
Oh, absolutely. And it wouldn't be, we threw a cup of piss at you. That could have had AIDS or anything else in it,
Who knows what they would have said, though. That the way things are publicly scrutinized, and you're only gonna hear one side of it, is ridiculous anymore.
Yeah,
the Larry Will situation. Now, I don't know the full story. I hear a little bit on her side. He hasn't come out and said anything.
What is this? I don't know this one.
I guess he supposedly...
Who is he?
Larry Will?
Yeah.
You kidding?
Yeah, I don't know.
The powerlifter guy in the strongman was training with Thor all that time?
Oh, I had no idea.
You kidding me? Okay. He was a sensation, a big sensation, I would say, from last fall.
Wait, Larry Will's the black guy, the real Jack Black guy. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So
I don't know the story, but I know who he is.
It came out that she recorded him. I'm sure he didn't know.
Yeah.
And you can hear her yelling and screaming at him. He wasn't saying much, really.
Right.
But now the whole thing is hush-hush. But it just, like, all of a sudden, he got scrutinized. Nobody knows the side of the story. Nobody knows what happened.
And especially if he isn't saying
anything. Everybody the next day after that came out is all over the guy. Just like the Smollett from Chicago.
Oh, right.
When that came out, the very next day, everybody in social media is like, this shouldn't happen, this shouldn't be like this.
And it turned out
people should be ashamed. Let's hear the facts.
Yeah.
Who the hell in Chicago is walking with a MAGA hat?
Right. You're in a lot more trouble if you're walking around Chicago in a MAGA hat.
If you hear that story,
you
know it's not true.
Yep.
Use your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Listen, right here is not the smartest guy. Right? But when I read that, I was like, okay, that's not happening.
Yeah, all the red flags started to come up.
Not in Chicago.
We were just in New Orleans this past weekend, and I love New Orleans. I love the history. I love the food. I love the bars. It's a pirate town. So even Key West is a pirate town too. It's another one of my favorites. But New Orleans you have to keep your head on a swivel because the pirates didn't go away. They're everywhere. People are down there trying to rob you. They're trying to get a handout. They're trying to scam you. But I kind of dig it a little bit, because it's a little sketchy. So we're walking around the French Quarter, and, I would say, like, if I had to, like, look at my phone to find directions to a place, I'd tell my wife, hey, run security while I do this. And my wife, she's squared away. So I'd go down to look at my phone, and she'd just have her head on a swivel, make sure no one's going to come up and jack a phone while we're looking. But we're walking home one night, and it was about midnight, and we just got out of the French Quarter, we're walking to our hotel, and there's two cops on horses, big giant horses, and this kid walks by and just starts talking shit to the cop, giving him the finger and talking shit to him, and the cop looks down at him like, what the fuck? And so the cop says something back to him. It wasn't anything like nasty or anything. He's like, what's your problem, kid? And the kid whips out his cell phone and he starts giving him the finger and yelling at him and talking shit to him. And so the guy starts walking towards him on his horse, and the kid's still filming and giving him the finger, but you can't see that he's giving him the finger behind the phone, and
that dude was getting mugged.
He was the first person you'd want to fucking call. Yep.
Exactly.
And the kid was about 5'6", 100 and nothing, and he walked right by us. I just wanted to choke the fuck out of him,
I don't want this to be a political discussion.
Make whatever you want.
I just hate when the cops are so bad.
Mm-hmm.
The cops are so bad. Yeah, there's some bad apples in there. It doesn't matter. Like the government. There's bad apples in there, too. Yep. Even the guys that you like, believe me.
In the church, in the school, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Like, growing up in the city, we knew we got in trouble. The cops are going to beat us down. They didn't ask questions.
Yeah, right.
They beat you down, put you in a paddy wagon, and they throw it in front of the court. in front of the judge. Because they don't want to deal with it. Because what they hear, it's useless because of what they heard before.
Sure.
And they hear it all the time. They're done with it. We're not asking questions. They pull up the billy club. They smack you around. I get scarred over.
And it doesn't matter what color you are. Everyone got an equal opportunity ass whipping. Yep.
Me and my friend one time, me and a couple of friends, we're in the city, and my one buddy was fighting with his girl. So he wanted us to stand outside her apartment, and he was going to call her. He wanted us to hear if she was there or not.
Mm-hmm.
This is back in the early 90s, so he is he's leaving this voicemail on an answer machine back in. We're trying to hear what the hell he's saying.
Right.
You know? I mean, we can't hear anything. We don't hear anything in there. Next thing you know, we hear cop cars flying around. No, we were just giggling amongst ourselves. We're not doing anything bad. So, okay, we're taking off, you know what I mean? Because what we're doing, we can't explain it.
Right, yeah.
There's three of us. Me and my one buddy get away, and my other buddy goes a different, opposite direction. So about an hour hiding out, we come back up, and we're wondering, wow, what happened to him? I'm like, I'm not worried about him because he gets away all the time.
Yeah.
Well, he got caught in like 2 minutes. He was hiding in the back of a pickup, and they just caught him. But anyways, we come up on the main street, and we're walking, and we see a cop car down at the very end of the street coming up, puts on his lights, flies up, comes on, draws his gun on us.
Yeah.
Throws us down on the hood of the car. Another one comes from the opposite side, so they put us in the car. And then they drive us down this alley. I'm like, what the hell are they doing to us back here? I'm like, we're just goofing off, listening to our buddy being heartbroken, basically. So they pull up, and there's this guy in the backyard. And they put the light in the back. And they're like, is this him? We're like, yeah, that's him. Like, there's no way you see me, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's 1 a.m. or whatever. You didn't see anything.
Yeah.
So it took us to the station or whatever, but when they took us to the station, we walk in, and I see my buddy's shoes.
They got him.
And you could see him. They're talking about him because he's down in the cell, and he is just causing a ruckus down in the cell. But it was funny, but you knew if you got caught doing something, even if something as innocent as that.
Right.
They weren't playing around.
Right.
They're handcuffing you, locking you up.
And I got to think that I know that. So when I was a CO, I got into a lot of fights. I was 21 years old. It was fun, you know. I mean, in my early to mid 20s, it was great, you know. Straight out of varsity football, end up beating people up. But there was never a time, and I had a bunch of other guys on my shift who were the same way, you know. There was never a time where any of us sat in roll call and went, I'm going to get a black guy today. Yeah. I'm done. I'm going to go pick out a black guy to be. It was like, I don't give a fuck what color you are. Let's just roll. You know, if you're doing something wrong, we're going to get into this, you know? And I think that's where...
And that's how it was prior to you.
Yeah.
The generation before you and the generation before that.
And you just solved problems by beating the crap out of people. And
it was a good problem solver.
It was,
to say the
because
least.
After you did it a few times, nobody wanted to fuck with you.
Exactly.
Even if the person thought they could whip your ass, it might not be worth
There's
jumping on
to
you.
pay.
Yeah.
Because it's not just you coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was... And I'm sure there are people out there who say that, but I honestly think the vast number of cops out there are just trying to do their job. Just trying to do
the high percentage.
Job. Yeah.
Definitely. And now it's even harder. Who would want that job?
I would
First
never
of all, the pay is not that great.
No.
It's unfulfilling.
Yeah.
You know,
every person
unless you're saving a drowning victim or something like that, of course.
Yeah.
But most of the time, that's not the case.
Yep.
You're videoed by somebody's cell phone.
Every single person is lying to you. You're seeing everybody on their absolute worst day. You know.
We had an incident in Pittsburgh not too long ago where a cop shot a guy running away.
Yeah.
He shot him in the back.
Yeah.
Absolutely guilty. That was a mistake. A big mistake. Killed the kid.
Yeah.
Place went nuts.
Yeah.
You know, of course, the whole community went crazy. Prior, though, of course, everybody went mad at the cop.
Yeah.
You killed a guy.
Yeah.
You don't shoot somebody running away.
No.
I don't care if he's running with a gun like this.
You live to fight another day. You'll catch him some other time.
Prior to that shooting, They're on alert for this guy and his friends because they did a drive-by.
Yeah.
Earlier that morning, the dude robbed his old boss. Now, how comes during a drive-by in that robbery, the whole community didn't get upset?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
So what he did was okay?
Yeah.
You think you're going to police yourself?
Yeah.
So why do you think the cops were there on high alert?
Yeah, there is, and anybody who says that, you know, we don't need cops or whatever is just fooling themselves, because we do. Matter of fact, I would like to go back to the day where we had cops who solved things with billy clubs, and I'd like to go back to having the mob in the neighborhoods again.
So I live in a town called New Kensington. I don't know if you're aware of it. I used to. New Kensington, a lot of great athletes in that town. Prior to the government coming in and the creating projects, government housing, it was all mob run. So the guy, and I don't know his name, was the tweener between New York and Chicago.
Okay.
Town was a great town. But listen, I'm not a big mob guy because a lot of the stuff they did, obviously, was not kosher either.
Yeah.
Because you can run into one of those guys and give him the wrong look, and all of a sudden, you're getting shot a day later or whatever. But the whole town was beautiful. Walk down at night, the businesses were flourishing. They brought it government housing, and the city had a choice of either bringing Penn State campus there or more housing. They chose the government funding.
Yeah, sure.
The town it's literally a dirt hole.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, they, towns like Pittsburgh and Cleveland that were kind of in-betweens between New York and Chicago. You had all these... Youngstown, Buffalo, Erie, but... Danny Green was a big hero in Cleveland. They called him the Robin Hood of Collinwood, which was his neighborhood. But it was guys like that who were brutal to each other, but kept the neighborhoods quiet. And you didn't fuck with them, and nobody fucked with them.
You
walked the streets. Yep. Yeah. And everybody my dad's age who grew up in Cleveland has a Danny Green story. Like they were a 10-year-old kid, and Danny gave his father a loan, or brought him a turkey at Thanksgiving. It's never Danny Green beat the shit out of me, and it was always I got mugged. Right, it was always some good story. And you ever see that movie Kill the Irishman or read the book?
No.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I actually had the author on the podcast, Rick Perello, Danny Green's story, and he was an Irish mobster. Used to be with
a name like Green.
Well, he was the leader of the dock workers union for a long time. Got in with the mob. Then he became like a numbers runner for Scalish, who was a big Jewish mobster in Cleveland. And then they got into an argument, and then Scalish kind of brought in the Italians. Italians went to war with Green and Green's group, and they at the time in Cleveland in the 70s, they had to relocate the ATF office in Cincinnati to Cleveland because there were so many car bombings going off. They were calling it Bombtown, USA.
Really?
So there's so many car bombs going off that they had to bring in the ATF just to deal with it.
See, that's the history that's really not written.
Mm-hmm.
That's the history you have to find out from the old school guys.
Yep. And Rick did a fantastic job on the book. It's called To Kill the Irishman, and then the movie is called Kill the Irishman. And I think it's on Netflix, but it's
really?
A great movie. Yeah, great movie, great book.
See, it's kind of an unfortunate way because the old school guys are all dying off.
Yeah, they're gone.
So all those stories are gone with them.
Yep.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, and you had those, the book The Westies in Boston, and just these incredible stories of these guys that were not good human beings, but they kept the neighborhood safe, and
yeah,
it
was their neighborhood.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's right.
There always seemed to be what's the wording I'm looking for? There always seemed to be protocol per se.
Mm-hmm.
this is how my streets are run.
Yep.
You can't act up. You can't do this. You can't do that. Nobody's getting robbed. Nobody's getting mugged.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want the neighborhood.
They didn't want drugs in the neighborhoods, you know.
Yeah.
That was a big dishonorable thing, you know. And that's what ruined them. You know, that's what brought the FBI and the DEA in and, you know, started making it from a local problem into a federal problem. And, yeah, it's...
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Now everything is different.
Yeah, it is. And it's you go into these towns like Pittsburgh and Cleveland and you got to keep your head on a swivel now, you know. And
it is. I would say, though, Pittsburgh is not that bad.
I haven't been there in years.
It's actually a really nice city.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I will say that. Pittsburgh is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, of course it's home.
Yeah.
But when you travel around, you know, like I love San Diego's a beautiful city to me.
Yeah.
It's nice, it's clean, beautiful weather. But then you go to Detroit.
Detroit's rough, man.
Philly.
Yep.
Nobody uses a broom air.
Yeah, Steve Pulcinella. You know Steve Pulcinella out in Philly, runs Iron Sport Gym. He's got some Philly stories, man, because he's down in this, you know, kind of crazy neighborhood down there running a gym. And
I have a brother who works for the government,
uh-huh.
and he was working in Philly with the Philadelphia Police Department, and he took me through some of the areas.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is how people live."
Looks like something out of Escape from New York.
It's horrible. Now, everybody says, "Well, do something for my community." Well, pull out a broom for one.
Yeah,
and sweep off your block.
Yeah.
You know, trim your bushes if you have any too, because it looks horrible.
Yeah, I have this incredible plan for when I run for president that I want to enact. As far as I understand, you need government programs for people because there's people out there legitimately need some kind of safety net. You know, they can't work because they're legitimately sick or hurt or something.
Oh, I agree.
But you have all these people on government assistance, and what I would like to see them do is enact a program where all these people show up for work at 8 a.m. at whatever government office you want. Everybody shows up. Now, you're going to get your check whether we have a job for you to do or not. But if we have a job for you to do that day, in order to get that check, you're going to have to do the job. And there would be no garbage on the streets. There'd be no graffiti on the walls.
Yeah.
You know, no dead deer carcasses on the
Prior
highway.
to the Depression, or even during the Depression, before the government programs were instituted, you'd see men and women, but you see people just line up somewhere waiting to get picked to do a job that day. Being on the docks or in a warehouse or whatever, they would wait outside the gate. And you see movies about it, and you hear stories. And there'd be, 50, 100 guys there waiting to get picked.
Yep.
And they'd pick a handful of guys.
And it was an honorable way to make money.
Exactly.
No matter what the job.
You know why? Because they wanted to work.
Yep.
They wanted to make money. They wanted to provide. Now, through government programs, and that's been passed down from generation to generation, I don't have to work.
Yeah. And why would you? Why would you work,
But that mentality is lost now through all those generations.
Yeah.
So, in a way, you want to say, I can't blame it on the person because they don't know any better.
You're absolutely right.
Because that's what they know.
Right.
And they're taught, no, don't worry, we'll get our check. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So nobody sees the other side of they. Like I said, I really didn't want this to be political, but you got Trump coming in and he hires Ben Carson to work with all the inner cities.
Yeah, Department of Housing or something.
You're not going to fix it. I
don't think you are either. Because I think there's too many people who have a vested interest in not getting fixed.
Of course. There's politicians everywhere.
Anytime
and everybody has a political agenda behind everything they want to do. Yeah. Do they really want to fix things? No, they don't. No. They don't care.
They like stagnation. Yeah. Nothing ever moves too fast. We can keep a handle on it. Well, I think it was it Ben Franklin who said that as soon as people start realizing they can vote themselves more money, then you've got a voter for life, and
I don't know if that was Ben Franklin, but I've heard that before. Yeah. So let's say I don't want to blame it on the people because it's just instilled in them now.
Yeah.
It's lost for them because they don't know any better. That's my opinion on it.
I think you're right.
I'm not a college educated person, so I never did a thesis on it.
What's the difference between a human being in the Depression and a human being now, other than sociological changes? It's the same DNA.
Yeah, it's sociological change.
I think a lot of it is failure of men to stay in households, and deal with their kids, and you don't get that strong male role model. But even if you get a mother who's working 3 jobs to support their kid, it's not the same, especially for a male kid who doesn't get to see dad do the right thing.
Exactly. And that's a role model that he needs. I was fortunate enough to have a dad that was a strong role model.
Right.
He worked as hard as he could. Now,
pretty jacked too. I think I saw a picture of him on your Instagram page.
He was jacked. I mean, I was talking to my wife last night, and she was kind of like spitballing things at me, questions. She goes, "Oh, you're going to your
like prep." Yeah. Everyone thinks they need to prep for this.
Who's your idol? I said, I don't have an idol. Yet. I don't idolize anybody in the sport. Why would you?
Right.
Maybe because I'm a lot older than everybody.
There's cool guys to watch, but you don't want to be like them.
Like, that's what she goes, well, who's your favorite strongman? And I would answer, but like if I had one role model and one guy, it would be my dad. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was jacked though.
Right.
I mean, he was little.
Yeah, it wasn't like they knew what young
my mom were both. My mom were both little.
Yeah.
If I didn't look like him, I always tell my mom this, I'd be the milkman's kid. He was 5'9" tops.
Yeah.
Little small guy. He was ripped up and everything, box. Now, speaking of old school, the way he trained, he'd grab railroad ties. Train with that.
That sounds a lot like strongman to me.
Axles, he'd train with that. He worked in the mill. He'd get pieces of metal.
Yep.
Lift them. He would make lead weights out of the lead. He'd mold the lead, and you could tell it was like hand molded because nothing was smooth. It was all like rough and moved around and things like that. When I was a kid, he still had to so he had me when he was 53.
Wow.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, right.
'Cause he, hooked up with my mom.
You know what I mean?
Younger woman? A lot younger, yeah, exactly. I mean, but he ended up, contracting Alzheimer's, and he went downhill pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it was cool listening to all his stories growing up, especially about either it was boxing or training.
Yeah.
He loved lifting. When he was still in right mind, he was still training.
Right.
And he'd come and flex his muscle. I'm like, Dad, that's great. You know what I mean? Being a kid, you think it's the greatest thing.
And back then, there was a stigma attached to that, too. Everyone thought, well, he's a weightlifter, he's a fag. That was the big thing. I remember hearing that from, people my dad's age when I started lifting weights. What are you, some fag?
You can't use that word now.
What is fag? I don't even know what that means.
But with the old school mentality that he had, it's just like when I eat peanut butter and jelly, because I love peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
I will not throw away that peanut butter jar until it is clean, because he grew up during Depression, and you didn't waste anything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't waste food today. I hate the heels of the bread.
Yeah.
It goes out to the birds or whatever. But what I'm saying is when we were kids, we all had chores.
Yeah.
We all had jobs. We had to do something. Kids today, like when we were kids growing up, we wanted money. Summertime, we'd go cut lawns.
Yeah.
Knock on the door.
I set up bingo halls for people. Like the local schools, everyone had their own bingo, so you have to go in there and set up all the tables and chairs.
Houseman.
Yeah.
Wintertime, you'd shovel snow.
Yeah.
Kids, if somebody knocks on my door and wants to shovel my walk, I say, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I just appreciate you coming and looking for the work and doing that, because it's gone.
That's a great way to look at it. Appreciate the fact that they're actually out there doing it.
Exactly. They want to make some money. Come around the summertime. Now I have somebody who takes care of my yard.
Yeah.
Now, but I'm at that point.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, if they did, I'd be like, yeah. We climb some trees. We'll trim some trees and stuff. You know, want to make some money. We collected pop bottles for money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
The 2-cent deposit back then or whatever it was. Yeah.
Get a nickel.
Yeah.
Yeah, nickel was good stuff. You know?
Yeah, all that's gone, man. And I think it moves you into you carry that into whatever athletic event you want to do as well. Because nowadays, I mean, you don't need strongman. I don't need to be grappling. But we both go at it with that same work ethic that we have to do is the best we possibly can with.
There is a mentality there. You have to. It's inbred in you.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes from your growing up, however it was. You know what I mean? And everybody's different. Everybody had a different path.
Yeah.
But my dad was into training, lifting weights. My older brother started a gym. They had this gym. I think it was 5 stories. It was on the 5th floor of this building. And I'm telling you, the stairs were this wide.
Yeah.
Crickety, crackety. You had to walk all the way up them just to get to the gym. And he carried all that equipment out here, too. Or pulled it up, you know what I mean, through the big giant windows on top. It's piping hot in summer, freezing cold in the winter.
I love that.
And I would like that to a certain point. I really would. I mean, where I train now, I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. If you're any kind of athlete, the gym is great.
Where are you at? What's it called?
Legends of Pittsburgh.
Legends of Pittsburgh. That's not your gym?
No.
Just where you train?
Yeah.
Okay.
The owner is young guy, jacked.
Yeah.
Strong as hell. He won't admit that he is actually strong.
Look that up.
Good guy. He gives me a freedom to do what I have to do to train.
Right.
Which I love, you know, but, you know, I know how he has to make money in business. So he trains classes for, say, soccer, like I was telling you.
Right, okay. He looks like a CrossFit guy. I'm looking at his page right now.
He kind of is, but...
Only because he's doing all sorts of crazy fucking
he has no fear to do anything.
Right.
He did a 300-pound farmers for 50 feet with me. He did a car deadlift with no straps. He's a strong guy.
Yeah.
He won't admit that he's strong.
I like the fact that I like guys who can do everything. You know?
Yeah.
They can. I've got a couple CrossFit girls coming on the show here in the next 2 weeks, 3 different ones, and the one girl is the 3rd fittest teen ever. So she was the 3rd. She won 3rd at the CrossFit Games this year, and I was showing her how to do the yoke at Shane Rickman's place.
That place is like the Mecca.
Yeah. She's like 15 years old, 16 years old. She ended up doing like, I want to say almost a 500-pound yoke, 450-pound yoke. And then she did a fucking handstand walk out of the gym. It's like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
See, that stuff gets me mad. I can't do anything. Like, I'm limping out of the gym, you know what I mean?
Like she's coming up here with her parents, and I'm pretty psyched to talk to her because, man, the sky's the limit for that girl, man.
Yeah. She's a kid.
Yeah.
That's what she's going to do. You know, I say the same thing. These, like the young strongmen today that are in World's Strongest Man, like Kielikowski and...
that guy's a stud, man.
If he can deadlift.
Yeah.
It would literally be over.
Yeah.
He just can't pull.
Right.
I mean, I say he can't pull. It's like 880.
Yeah, right. You can't. You got to be up in 1,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's...
just to think the next generation after that, what are they going to be like?
What are we going to be looking at when we're in our 70s looking at these guys? Freak shows, 500-pound
what's going to be wowing
lifters.
us?
Yeah.
And what kind of, like, you know, Eddie Hall's deadlift? What's going to be next after that?
Well, I don't know if you remember this, and I tell people this all the time. When I got into serious piling games, there was one guy on the planet who was deadlifting 900 pounds, and that was Danny Woolber. And now there's got to be literally 100.
That has to be 100, yeah.
At least of guys that can deadlift over 900.
And then Sean's going to do it.
Sean's going to do it, right. Yep.
I think there's going to go just
there was
over top.
One guy, Andy Bolton, did 1,000, and now there's all these strongmen doing 1,000.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck.
It's funny to talk about the strongman hitch or no hitch.
Yeah, who the fuck cares?
You're pulling the weight.
Right.
Like, you know, it's Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
You talk to some older coaches, you know, the soft elbow and the lockout.
Right.
He's like, who cares?
Right.
You're putting the bar
You're
over
not
your
making
head.
it any easier. You're not trying to do that.
You're putting the bar over your head. Who cares?
One of the problems with Olympic lifting is they get into the aesthetics of it too much, and they make it not fun. So you go to a powerlifting meet, and they've got metal or rap playing full volume. Everyone's getting jacked, screaming, and yelling. You go to
it's like a golf tournament.
It
Olympics.
is. And you
It's what
can't
it
make
is.
any noise, and everything's got to be perfect, and everybody's really quiet. It's boring as fuck.
It really is. And it's only 6 lifts
Yep.
of the 3 of the same thing.
Yep.
It's boring. At least, strongman, one of my guys said, he goes, the best thing about strongman is the variety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
And
if I
there's
wasn't doing
less variety
strongman
now than
would I be
there
in the
was.
gym? I don't know if I'd be in the gym if I wasn't doing it.
I need that stimulus. I need all different shit to do.
Yeah.
And now that I've switched my training around, it's even more fun for me because I added a bunch of more stuff in that I can do now.
Yeah, you're in everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to do everything, and it helps my ADD because I never now come into the gym and go, oh, I don't want to do that. If I don't want to do it, I'll just do something else.
Yeah.
And I just make sure I hit everything every week, and you're fine. But I need that, like you said, I need that variety.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm prepping for strongman games.
Is that the you do the video submission?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Last year, I competed up in Michigan to get qualified. This year, I did the video because I decided to do nats, which I didn't even want to do.
Yeah.
When I signed up, I was anxious to compete. And that was, I don't think it was in April or March. By May, I didn't even want to train for it.
Mm-hmm.
I had no desire to compete at nats.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think I was burnt out.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed helping my guys prep for it. I didn't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
I was literally ready to turn around on my way there. I was sitting in traffic, and I said, if I sit here 20 more minutes, I'm turning around.
Right.
And traffic decided to go, and then I got there late. I missed rolls. Didn't want anything to do with it.
But that's, there's nothing wrong with that. That's competition.
But he acted like a child throughout that whole
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after I did the yoke, he ran to the judge, looked at my time, looked at it, and walked off like all upset.
You play the game, and so sometimes it doesn't work out for you.
Who
You
acts
try
like
to
that?
you try to play those. Well, nobody does. Nobody acts like that in strongman. They shouldn't
No.
act like that because we're supposed to be
8-year-olds.
just. Yeah, you're supposed to be just. It's supposed to be a good community of people.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a few bad apples out there.
Yeah.
Like some guys, first of all, some guys just need to shut up.
Yeah.
Especially on social media.
Yeah,
Just shut
that's.
I know you want fame, and now you're looking for something, or you're looking for endorsements, or whatever.
There's a
Just
lot
shut
of
up.
people who I like in person, but I refuse to follow them on social media because it makes me, knowing that they're a good person in real life, and then reading what they post on social media, it makes me not like them. So I just purposely not follow them so I can like them in real life, when we meet. And there's people in all walks of life in my life who I don't follow because of that. There's people in this gym that are my members that I won't follow. There's people in Highland Games and Strongman I won't follow.
And some would take that personally if
Right.
they do that. But they don't realize.
I want to like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to sustain the friendship.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
You're nothing against you personally.
And it doesn't even have to be a dickhead statement. It's too much posting.
Oh.
It's whining. It's religious. It's political. I can't deal with any of that
The
stuff.
worst is if somebody gets any kind of notoriety.
Yeah.
And I've seen this happen within the past year. Somebody got a lot of notoriety, and they're literally posting 3 times a day.
Yeah, right.
Shut up. And their whole mentality and their whole persona has changed.
Yeah.
When you see
Now all
them.
of a sudden they're the superstar.
Yeah. Like, no. I knew who you were before all this happened.
Yeah.
That's not you. Stop it.
The things that I love are the people who post achievements that we who've been around the block know aren't really achievements. Like they've quote unquote qualified for some competition or something, and you're just like, come on, we know that. Or I'm the 3rd strongest man in the Masters And there was 3 guys in your class, and we know there was 3 guys in your class. So technically, you're last. You were just one of the only 3.
Yeah, you placed last, and there's nothing to be ashamed about.
No, you showed up and did it, but
you competed. Because there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines not competing, but they'll run their mouth and say something.
Last year, me and my wife did Sean Shoemaker's Ohio's Strongest Man and Woman, and my wife
that was
won.
October, right?
Yeah,
I was going to judge that. But it was my anniversary weekend, so I wasn't.
Don't get that mixed up. So, but my wife wins. You didn't see her on social media saying she was Ohio's Strongest Woman. Are you fucking kidding me? But all her friends that aren't involved in strongman would have been really impressed with that if she said, "I won Ohio's Strongest Woman." Well, fucking Brooke Souza's down there, and Laura Phelps and Heidi. My wife knows that she's not Ohio's Strongest Woman. She just won a contest called Ohio's Strongest Woman.
When I won the 50 over, and people were like, "You're the strongest man in the USS over 50."
Right.
Well, there's a guy named Nick
Best, right?
Okay, everybody
just
knows about
mind, right?
I'm no Nick Best.
Yeah.
The dude is strong. Eric Patterson's 50 now.
Yeah.
That dude is statically incredibly strong, and he's 260 tops.
And there's guys out there we don't even know about.
That's the thing. There are guys out there we don't even know about.
Don't do anything.
Nope. Or it's just like, I have a relative, great friend of mine, and he's a contractor, and we talk about certain things, and we'll talk about like the old, because nobody does concrete or block foundations anymore.
Right.
It's all poured concrete, whatever.
Yep.
But those guys who used to build those foundations, block by block.
Yep.
You know how rare it is for somebody to do that today?
Yeah.
And they would do it 10 hours, 10 hours. 16-inch block after block after block.
Big blocks, too. Yeah. We have a guy here in the gym who runs a company. I don't know if that's exactly what he does, but part of his job is he has guys moving these 90-pound cement blocks into foundations and stuff like that. And he can't find guys that can handle more than an hour of that work, You know,
I didn't realize how strong it was until I worked with my father.
Yeah.
Guy hated me. Still doesn't like me too.
Sure.
But
married his daughter.
Well, I don't blame him.
Sure.
Because he knows.
Right.
He knows. He's been around the block. And he's been with his wife since he was 16.
Right.
So he knows.
Yep.
But I worked with him, and he would make me do, like, he had a landscaping business. I never cut grass.
Yeah.
I had a pick, a digging bar, a shovel sometimes.
Right.
Or a sledgehammer. That's what I did.
Get to work, monkey.
Yeah. And then he was a big Subaru guy. So he had a couple Subaru motors in his yard. I'm like, once every 2 weeks, I'd be like, Vaughn, I need to move this, and you need to put that over there. Now, granted, it's only a Subaru motor.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I'd pick it up and put it over there. And after a while, I'm like, okay, we need to move this one over here. What am I doing this for?
Right.
I had no idea.
For his amusement.
That's what it was. It was for his amusement. But I realized I was strong because some of the things we did, you didn't know what the weight of it was.
Yeah.
You just knew you had to pick it up and move it. Tree stumps.
Which is the way old strongman used to be. Some of that shit had never been lifted.
They didn't know. Yep. They just knew they had to lift it.
Yep.
And that's what it was. Like, he was a great tree guy. Dude could drop a tree anywhere within inches of something. And I don't want to brag about the guy.
Sure, right.
Yeah, because
he was a pain in the ass.
We never see eye to eye. But the guy has some talents.
Yeah.
So
that's called maturity.
Yeah.
That you can do that.
He had, we cut a lot of trees, split them up, and I had to move them. So I wasn't the brightest bulb in the bunch back then. So instead of me moving a log splitter to where all the wood was, I would pick them up and carry them over. And he just watched me for about, I would say it was 15, 20 minutes one time.
Right.
And he didn't say a word to me. And then he left and had to go do whatever. So we're eating later on that night because I'm back, with his daughter. And he goes, you can always move that log splitter over. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how much those that would,
Right.
you know what I mean? Those trees weighed. I just knew I had to pick them up and carry them or load them.
Yep.
It's just like we'd break out. He'd be like, we're going to bust out this patio here. And it was like concrete from 1950. So it's 12 inches.
Yeah.
And he'd leave me with a 90-pound jack. Okay. Bust it up. He'd leave the dump there. I just had to pick it up and load that stuff up. And I wanted the biggest pieces because I thought it was smarter. The bigger the pieces, the more I can get loaded on the on the truck. You even get beat up, but I didn't know what that stuff weighed. Just knew you had to do it.
But it was a good primer, man.
I knew he wanted me to quit.
Right.
Because he wanted to say, see your boyfriend.
Yep.
You know,
he couldn't hack it.
Exactly. And I would never quit. When I quit with him, it was an off season. All I wanted was more money.
Right.
Because everybody around us quit.
Yeah.
It's usually sometimes just him and I. Till he'd get another staff in, and months later, guys would drop off.
Yep.
They get to cut grass and rake up, trim bushes, not me.
Just want a few more shekels.
But I'm glad that happened to me.
Yeah.
You know, because that literally was intensely hard work.
Yeah.
Harder than some of the training I do.
Oh, I bet.
But I was a young guy back then, so I had the strength and energy. I have to maintain and save my energy for certain lifts today.
Right. So how are you training now? Are you training events like on a select day? Are you training them all? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I got into strongman in 2011, and I was able to do the events all in one day for the most part. Mm-hmm. I can't do that at all now. I have to break it up. So the split is 2 overhead days when I can.
Mixing it up, log, axle,
and
regular
then
bar.
there's a deadlift day, and then moving events day.
Oh, that's not bad. I like that.
Yeah. So the moving events is always Saturday, because I have Sunday to recover. Mm-hmm. Monday will go in the overhead. So I'm still recovering lower body-wise. That way I can go into Tuesday and pull.
Yeah.
So, and then Thursday is, we'll just say right now, it's a overhead / upper back day. Mm-hmm. And then I go back to moving events on Saturday.
Yeah, because that's really what you need as a strongman. You need to be able to pull, you need to be able to press, and you need to be able to move on objects.
And it used to be easy. Honestly, don't get me wrong, it was heavy, but it used to be easy. It's even harder now than it was for me last year.
Some of those events that I look at, like Vacchio's show, that unbearable, unbeatable.
Well, he does. That one show he does
is ridiculous.
No, I wouldn't do it because I know I'm going to get hurt.
Right.
I know
I'm not even going to get hurt. I'm just not moving anything off the ground.
Yeah. Well, I would try like an idiot, and I know I would get hurt. That's why I couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. And there's people that, Sean did it. Sean did it last year.
Yeah.
Because I think, and then I know Dylan Schmidt did that, where he was happy about picking up, I don't know what the yoke was, and moving it 5 feet or whatever.
Yeah, right.
It was like 1,200 pounds. We did that, me and my guys. We were watching that Strongman show on History Channel.
Yeah.
So you get a little amped up.
Yeah, right.
Watching that. You're impressed with some of the things that they actually could do, because nothing against Robert Overs. But competing-wise, he never does great.
Right, yeah.
But he picked up that 400-pound sandbag during that show and acted like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
400-pound sandbag.
Oberst, he's something else. And he seems like a good dude, too. I've never met him in person. I just talked to him a little bit online.
He's a good personality.
But he does something always seems he gets an injury or, who knows what happens to him. But he's he's like one of those guys that has all the talent in the world, just might never reach that pinnacle.
Yeah.
But
we watched that show. We came in. We decided, let's just do heavy yoke lifts.
Yeah.
Just pick them up. We went up to 1,200 pounds or whatever it was, 11 or 12. And then we came back in Monday to train, and we were just drained.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Yoke in general sucks.
It does. And we were like, what were we thinking? We're thinking too much.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a lot harder. Like, recovery is
a
priority for me right now.
Probably more so than even the lifting. You've got to make
really
sure
is.
you're recovered.
The even lift, the ice baths, the stems.
Yeah.
I'm shaving all parts of my legs so I can put stems on.
Pads on there, sure.
Yeah, I got a patchwork of hair on my legs.
Well, and I'm sure you're the same way. I get phantom injuries out of nowhere. Like I was down in New Orleans, and all of a sudden I started getting this pain in my my funny bone, the ulnar nerve there, and then it spread both directions. Spread down into my fingers, spread into my back. I didn't do anything, but it was keeping me up. It was so painful. But I've got a girl who just worked voodoo on me. She's a former Pollock coach.
Especially in New Orleans.
Well, she's a Cleveland girl, but when we got back from New Orleans, she I go in there and you can see I think I still have marks on my neck from where she
I could
put
see
the little tiny
time.
cups on there, and she did me right up. But you need those
So was
people
it a
in your
nerve?
life.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's my ulnar nerve that goes through here.
So it got pinched somehow.
It's she thinks it's somewhere up here in my shoulder, like where my pecs are tight, so I've been stretching those out. And
Dude, nerves are so tricky.
but it would wake me up. It was so painful. It was like constantly being hit in the funny bone,
I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
When I got hurt in 17 here, so my nerve is pinched, my sciatic.
Oh yeah.
And it's because the SI joint and the soft tissue and ligaments there ripped off. And somehow my piriformis tore up. So there's scar tissue on it.
Yeah.
So the second doctor I seen said that that's what happened, and it's wrapped around the nerve.
Oof.
And anytime there's movement, it's pulling a nerve. So
Yeah.
it's in the hip. It bypasses my upper leg, but then it comes down across the calf.
Same leg that you tore the hamstring in?
No, upper
Oh
leg.
wow.
It comes down the calf and across the top of the foot. And for a year and 7 months, it was incredibly painful.
Yeah.
And I just kept getting through it. And the only way I would get through my workouts, or say an event, I'd say, okay, Vaughn, this is only 30 seconds of your life. Just get through the 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But it got so bad somewhere in May and June that I started taking hydrocodone
Yeah.
because I couldn't handle the pain. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is just getting ridiculous. What am I going to do here? And then the doctor's like, could last forever.
Whew.
And I'm like, what the hell? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't want this to go on forever. So, hydrocodone, I don't know if you've ever taken it.
No, but it can't be good. It sounds like all the other ones that are horrible.
It makes you very emotional.
Yeah.
It brings out the softest emotions that I have. And,
Yeah.
I'm telling my wife I love her like 25 times in an hour.
Right.
Did I tell you I love you today? She's like, yeah. And I would talk all night to her. And she would just turn around and say, are you serious? Go to bed. Like, I just wanted to
It's getting weird, man.
it was crazy.
What's it like now? Are you still in pain?
So I'm in. It started coming back about 2 to 3 weeks ago. It went away after a week after Nats. It literally started just going away, and I was so happy. So when I was training prior to prepping for Strongman games, I had some good lifts.
Yeah.
But the reason why is if I deadlifted heavy this day, nothing else that week I did heavy.
Right.
Just
because you had to recover from it.
Well, I didn't have to. I had nothing to train for. So the following week, I would do a nice log. Okay? And it was a nice lift, But, people, you're doing great. I'm like, well, that's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not training for everything, so I'm able to rest. So if I want to come in and just do that, I can work on that and only that. But then I started prepping for this, and it's coming back. Now, it's not nearly as severe as it was.
Right.
Not at all. So I can get by. But the thumping in the calf and the foot is...
I'm going to get you my girl's number because she's not that far from you. She's
Really?
45 minutes east of here.
Really?
So even if you had to come up and give her a holler...
No, I'm fine. I'm willing to try a lot of things.
I'll hook you up with her, and she's fantastic, and she's an athlete, so she understands what's wrong with her.
No, she does, Great stuff. She's helped me
Yeah.
in prior things. But the day before day one last year, she was working. I was telling her how bad it is, and she's like, "You're an anomaly. I'm going to have to really work on you when this is over." She did this stretch to me from it's my right leg, and she pulled it over this way.
Yeah.
And it reignited it so
Yeah.
bad. I'm like, oh, it will go away. It never went away. It was thumping the whole competition. And inside, I was so angry.
Sure.
But then I got angry at myself because I'm the one who let her do it.
Yeah.
I should have known better because they say you should do all these stretches. Stretches never help that out.
This girl tells me not to stretch.
Yeah.
I stretch constantly. She's like, you need to stop. You're doing too much. It's all body work with her.
Yeah.
I'll hook you up with her. We should get this wrapped up here.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. I'm
running off.
I'm not even thinking about it. But, I've got you talking for an hour and a half here. What do you have next? You have the Strongman
Strongman Games November 1st.
All right, we'll be looking out for that. Maybe we'll get together afterwards, and maybe I'll come out to your place, or if you want to come out here to train, either one.
I want to come out and do that 400 stone.
Good. We'll come out and
we could probably do that. Well, it's November 1st. I could probably still do it in November, maybe around the holiday.
That'd be perfect. We'll get together.
Because I have some more free time then.
Yeah, anytime. Just get through it, and then give me a holler, and you're more than welcome to come out anytime you want. But
I'd like to bring my guys too.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
We'll do a day. We'll do a day. We'll do like a Saturday or something.
I don't want to do your crazy routine though.
No,
I want to be able to.
I'll go full strongman. I'll pull out the rebands and everything. All right, Vaughn. All right, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
No, my pleasure.
We'll do it again sometime.
I would like that.
This has been the Refined Savage. See ya.